And I want to talk this morning from the subject caught in the middle. And the reason I want to do that because many of us are caught in the middle of something and don't know what it is. I was sharing with Minister Alvin about generation. I said, I am probably the baby boomer. Then we had Generation X, now we got Z. Being a baby boomer, I see things from that perspective a lot of time. My shelf life for the X and the Z is coming from you. Because I have to be around you to sharpen my skills on Z. I don't have children, your children age. And I was sharing with Alvin yesterday, and there was so much revelation came from our conversation because when you talk to another preacher, iron should sharpen iron. You talk to people and your axe still dull, get away from them. That means you ain't rubbing against nothing. Folk don't like friction, but how you gonna ever sharpen yourself? It takes something to come against you to make you sharp. If everybody's smooth, ain't nobody doing nothing for nobody. You need a few rough edges to get the edge you're looking for. And I've rubbed shoulders with some of the biggest, the greatest, some preachers that, all of us was aspired to be like. And when I saw them, they looked like men to me. I thank God for God using them, but I realized that that wasn't what God was doing, and we care. I don't go out looking for something somebody doing in their church to bring here. Because our people may not be them people. You can't go to people's church and adopt their ways and come back and try to put them here. You can go learn how to do things better. I really enjoyed Jay because he's a little bit more balanced when he's out. Rare that he come back and he brings something in that's so far away from where we are. You tend to stay right in the midst of all the three generations that's in this church. And there is three different generations in this church. And don't get them confused because you don't understand all three. Lil Sykes is in a generation that I'm in, but I'm not a part of it. And sometimes I'll listen to things he say to help my library. Because if you don't watch it, your library become outdated. And ain't nobody checking your books out. Your online service just ain't helping nobody. I tipped around with AI a little bit with the Bible programs, and boy, I tell you what, that song gonna call Speed Dial. I tapped on one word. I was all over the Bible to the Dead Sea Scrolls. I said, boy, if I had this by 10 years ago, God knows who I wouldn't be. But it wasn't time to be revealed to me. This generation is getting information so fast that by the time they learn something, they're bored with it. By the time you get it, it's outdated. But this morning, I want to talk to you about being in the middle, caught in the middle of different seasons of your life. What do? You know something is happening, but you just don't know how it's going to happen. I can see all of the blossom, the trees blooming, but I don't understand what's going on. I want to use for a subject today, and I said caught in the middle, but I want to go to Genesis chapter 16. I want to use a storyline of Abraham, Isaac. Let me see, Abraham and his two women. Two women and one man. Working together to bring forward what an infinite God is trying to make happen. Three infinite people trying to bring, three finite people is trying to bring forward what an infinite God wants. And the challenge is, God don't always come when it's convenient. The challenge we face is God comes when it seems like it's hopeless. to check to see what you think of him and what he said to you. So I'm going to do a little reading, and then I'm going to give you 3 points, and I'm going to send you to your house. Or send you out of here. So I can't say where you're going to leave you. Genesis 16, verse 5. We're going to pick up in the middle of the story. And Sarah said to Abraham, I understand my wrong now. The storyline starts off where God had spoken to Abraham that he would be the father of many nations. But for some reason or other, Sarah couldn't bear children because her womb was closed. So when they heard God, they know God don't lie. And every once in a while you hear God, you know he ain't lying to you, but he just didn't give you all the details on how it was going to happen. And then some details he gave you didn't go with what you know you could do, because there's certain factors in your life ain't going to let you do that. And so Abraham hears what God has to say. Sarah hears it. Both laugh, and both of them deal with the storyline and said that, you know, I hear God saying I'm going to be the father of many nations, you're going to be the mother of many, but at this point, Abraham, I'm no help to you. The best I can do for you is talk to you. Because the thing that produces in me is clothes. Tell somebody, say, store clothes. That means if you come in here every night and lay with me, play with me, we still can't bring nothing forward, because it ain't your fault, eh? The God that made promise to me and you has closed my womb. Why would God tell you that you're going to have a baby and close your womb? Sound like oxymoron to me. Because an infinite God is not looking at your finite problem. An infinite God is looking at what he can do in your situation that gets you to believe on another level with him. So the purpose of God doing all of these things, I guarantee you, is to help you redefine who he is. Because all of us have boxed God in and limited God based upon our own beliefs. So now Sarah, she listens to what Abraham says. She listens to what God says. They try, but he realized it's not going to work because I'm barren. My womb is closed. So Abe, you can have fun, but you're not going to bear any children. Store clothes. No press ham tonight. No bologna, no salami. The best you're going to get here is a closed door. So she got to thinking on, if God don't lie and we know that he wants something, how do we participate in making it happen? Sometimes the first mistake is that you're always trying to do something you can't do. Just because God told you something doesn't mean you have all the know-how to make it happen. And even if you do, he knows how to shut it down. You can work all you want and it still ain't going to happen, because there's something he shut down in your life that the time is not yet. Not that it won't happen, but that season that he wants you to be in is not about producing a child. It was a season to put you in another posture. Yeah. Now we're going to stay with this, and I'm going to help you today. And so now Abraham, after they realized what was happening, it picks up at verse 5 and says, Sarah said unto Abraham, my wrong be up on me, on thee. Hey, my wrong on you. All right. At some point, she blaming him for listening to her, and says, I have given my maid unto thee, thy bosom. She either crazy or she got dementia. Because you don't give no woman your man. Hello. Hello, Father, we thank you and we praise you for this moment. As you lead us into this message, that you help us to understand, God, that whatever we need to do, we don't make the mistake that they made. We ask the blessing upon the reading of these words and upon your pastor as he teaches this word. In Jesus' name. Say, now look, my maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleased thee. That don't sound like something none of us young ladies going to do. I don't think some of y'all ladies just going to give up your wife, your husband, and say, go take her. That's going to be a fight. But it's okay. I understand it because I ain't got there either. And when Sarah dealt harshly with her, she fled from her face. And the angel of the Lord found her by the fountain of water in the wilderness by the fountain. He found her. And she left because something went on after she gave the maid to her bosom. And the Bible said, she said, and I have given my maid unto thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. And the Lord judged between me and thee. In other words, she said, you know, I've given you my handmaid. She's pregnant. Now it seemed like when I look at her, she look at me with these crazy eyes. We got trouble in this house. Something got to give. Now mind you, Hagar is not guilty. Hagar was a maidservant. There will come a time that God will ask of you to serve. And so she volunteered to be that woman. But in the process of serving, she found out the one that asked her couldn't handle the fact that she was bringing forward and the one that asked couldn't. The scripture said she felt despised in her eyes. That means she looked at her a certain way and made her feel low. And some people feel that way when they help people get on their feet or tell them their little secrets and they get off and they get something they don't have. They feel like they're being despised. And what I like about the story is the Bible says that Sarah realized her wrong. She said, I did something I shouldn't have did. I should have never brought this other woman between me and you. What I should have did was trust God. But because I wanted to help God out, so I went and got that car note. I went and got all these bills. I went and bought this stuff. Now, the very thing that I went and got that's looking good on somebody else ain't looking good on me. Let me make it clear. I have to do what they call contemporary preaching. Amen? But Abraham said unto Sarah, behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleases thee. And when Sarah dealt harshly with her, she left from that place. And the angel of the Lord found her by the fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain of the way of Shur, and said, Hagar, Sarah maid. He was clear on who he was looking for. He said, Sarai maid. Whence comest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. True question. Number one, where are you coming from? The angel want to know where you come from.
Yeah.
Where where's you coming from? I'm trying to figure out what place you left.
Okay.
And the second question was, where you going? Most of us are either going and we know where we're going, or we going and don't know where we're going, or we just going. Some of us, we know where we come from, and some of us don't know where we come from. We just took off. So he asked her two questions, and the first point I want to make, the place, write it down. Because there's always a place that God going to put you in. No matter who you are, you're going to be placed in a place where God can do a work in you.
All right.
And the thing about Hagar, she signed on for what's going on in that place. But because she didn't like how she was being treated, she decided, I got to get the hell out of here. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, I made a decision to be in this place. But it's getting hot in here. I got to get up out of here. So she gets out, and after she gets out, the angel comes and asks her a question. Sarah, whence cometh thou? In other words, when did you get here? Wasn't you somewhere else?
All right.
Wasn't you at another place? And where you going? If you live in one place, do you know where you're headed now?
All right.
Too many people are leaving, but they don't know where they're going.
Uh-huh.
And the reason she's leaving, because she don't like the way she's being treated.
Yeah.
And the reason she don't like it, because she signed on for it. Because she went to that place.
Yeah.
She became her maid. She volunteered to have fun.
All right.
So the angel is saying, the Lord want to know where you come from and where you going. Get your neighbor, say, neighbor, where you come from and where you going. You can't keep running from place to place.
No.
Too much moving around. Now, let's pick out a few points about God. If God is omniscient, meaning he's all-knowing.
Yeah.
He's omnipresent, that means he's everywhere. He's omnipotent, meaning he has all power. But if he's all-knowing, why would he ask where you are? Why would a God that knows all things ask the question, where did you come from? And where are you going? When you know that God already knows where she came from and where she thinks she's trying to go.
Yeah.
But sometimes most of us don't know where we're going. We're just trying to get away.
Yeah.
Because getting away for us make better sense than staying. Oh, that's fine if you have no plans for where you at.
Yeah.
So when God asks a question, he's not looking for an answer. He don't, because he already know where you at. He already knew where she came from. So let's rule that out. He's not asking her because he don't know where she came from.
That's right. That's right.
He's asking a question because he wanted to know from her what in your life, what has got your attention that has missed your attention. Write it down. You thought you heard what I say. In other words, you was in a place where you knew you should have been.
Yeah.
But what has got your attention that's pulling you from a place where you're supposed to be? In other words, what are you looking at better than where you were? So God's biggest concern is what's getting our attention. What is causing us to feel I need to get up out of here? So Sarah, so Hagar, what has got your attention that has nothing to do with what I want you to do? Mm-hmm. In other words, have you looked at what somebody else got that's making you leave where God put you? In other words, we don't just leave a place because we're mad. We leave because we believe there's something better somewhere else. Okay. In other words, let's just use something tangible. All right. Your wife, when you took her to the altar, she was beautiful and she was everything you wanted. Mm-hmm. But you're somewhere else. In other words, what had your attention ain't keeping it. All right. So in other words, what's got your attention? So when God was asking the question, he was saying, Hagar, what got your attention so strongly that you leaving the place where you're supposed to be? Stay with me on this now. And she said, I fled from the face of my mistress, Sarah, because I've been treated harshly. Her answer and her reply was, I don't care where you put me, God. Ain't nobody going to mistreat me.
All right, all right.
Oh, it's finna get crazy in here. Yeah. In other words, they don't know who I am. No, you don't know who you are.
That's what it is.
Because if you knew who you are, you were, or you is, you wouldn't let anything move you.
Okay, okay.
But what God was trying to show Hagar, you got a second agenda. In other words, God will put you in a place to reveal your true motive. Okay. And so he tells her, hey, I don't know what you're looking for, but where you at, it ain't here. Okay. Okay. Too many people sitting in other people's churches because they didn't like the way it was treated at somebody else's church. Okay. So they think because they left that church, they're going to be treated right over there. Well, that's good if you weren't doing nothing. If you had not decided to be a servant somewhere, you can go any way you want. Most people don't do nothing in the church because they don't want to be committed. Okay. That way when they leave, they ain't got to worry about nothing because they wasn't doing nothing. Reason most of you all ain't committed to nothing because you don't want to be responsible for nothing. Right. You don't want to be the person that have to show up because you never committed. Why do you ask to join a church but you don't do nothing in the church? Okay. When I come, everybody was coming and wasn't members. All right. If all you do is come and you ain't committed, nobody ain't looking for you. That's right. That's right. I need some help somewhere. In other words, if you here and you ain't committed to nothing, leave when you get ready. That's right. That's right. That's what you're going to do. Now, Jay leave, he got to answer questions. Because he's committed to making sure that this house have praise and worship. Yeah. The keyboard player is committed to this house having praise and worship. You ever went somewhere and saw people at a church and knowing they got church going on at their church? Hello, real people, real people. Yeah. And somebody said, well, man, what you doing here? Well, I just showed your pastor. No, I ain't got to tell him where I'm going. Oh. You really don't because you ain't committed to him, and I don't blame you. I'll fire you when you get back. No. People tend to not commit to keep from feeling guilty. That's why when a Sunday morning comes, you ain't committed, so you ain't missed church. Most people don't miss. They might not come to church, but they ain't doing nothing because they don't serve, so you ain't missed.
All right.
Somebody said, well, anybody asked about me? You don't do nothing, nobody asked about you.
That's right.
You don't miss people doing nothing.
Okay.
There's certain people I would miss if they don't be here. Who gonna sing today? Who gonna play today? Who gonna open up the church today? Some of y'all ain't done nothing but sit in the seat. The best thing I can say, that seat empty, where is she? Where is her? Where is they? What have you committed to that God has spoken a word to you, you can't leave?
Okay.
The place that you are should be the place where you know that's where God want to bless you at.
Yeah.
But most of us ain't committed to nothing. Well, I don't feel like it today. Well, committed people don't feel, they move.
That's right.
If I go by how I feel, I'd be at home this morning. But I'm supposed to be in this place today.
Yeah.
And if I'm supposed to be in this place, he is responsible for healing me to be here. But if I'm not committed and am not signed on, he don't have to heal me to stay at home and run the street. God take care of those who committed to him.
That's right.
When they're serving food in the bag, I look for certain people. I don't see Sandy, I lose it. That's what she do.
Yeah.
But some of y'all don't see you. I can't miss you. All you do is eat. But those that serve, they're always in your view. Write it down. Serving people will always be seen because they're always where they're supposed to be. So he asked her. She said, I left because they didn't treat me. She ain't treat me right. Why was she treating her right? Listen to me. She was doing the right thing, though. You can do the right thing and still be treated harshly.
Yeah.
The harsh treatment is to get your attention from God. People don't mistreat you because they don't like you. People mistreat you because they want to make sure you're in the right place. I ain't getting no help, man. I ain't getting no help.
All right.
In other words, folk don't bother people ain't doing nothing.
Okay.
You can't serve people don't be talked about. You can't cook and nobody don't say nothing about your food.
That's right.
You can't come here and clean this church and somebody don't have nothing negative to say. But if you ain't doing nothing, you got time to look at everything. But working people, they always find themselves in harsh situations.
Yeah.
Committed people. It seems like I got to do everything. No, you ain't got to do everything. You got to do what you signed on to do.
Yeah.
But people that don't sign on ain't got nothing to do. So quit looking at people ain't signed on trying to figure out to get your affirmation. Find those that sign on and they'll help you keep your eye where it ought to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes people leave a place for all the wrong reasons. Well, I just don't like them. Nobody like you either.
Okay.
You ain't that likable. Because if you're in the right place, why you don't like them people? There's no way you can put me in the right place and I don't like the people you put me in the place with. The problem is you came to a place and you don't know why you're there. If you came to serve and not be served, you ain't got a problem with people.
No.
You only going to have a problem with people when you came to a place to be served.
That's right. Good. That's right.
But if you came to serve, You're looking for something to do to help people be better. Ain't I'm preaching better?
Yeah.
When you're having challenges, you go, well, babe, I don't know. I don't think Pastor like us. He always looking over at the other group of people. No, you looking at me, looking at the other group because you don't know why you're here.
That's right.
If you keep your eye on why you're here, you won't be worried about why I'm looking at them people. The reason you got time, because you ain't doing nothing in the place you're called to.
That's right.
When you're working, Camise, on your job, you ain't got time to watch all them people, do you? You do your job. Because your job is on the line, not them people. We so looking at everybody else that we ain't got time. And I'm going to tell you where it came from. This old modern day Facebook, TikTok, Twitter talk, rock talk generation, always looking at what everybody else doing, and you ain't doing nothing. I don't have the time to look at dumb stuff. I'm too busy trying to educate myself to be better at what God called me to serve to do. You so far behind serving, you're still laughing at crazy stuff. I need to go to Disney World because you're miserable. If you were serving, you'll create Disney where you're at. The reason we don't like what we do because we are in the wrong place doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you feel you've been wrong, you fight or you flight.
Come on, son. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know me. I set it off up in here. Well, you don't know us either because we'll set you out of here.
All right.
You ain't set nothing off up in here because if you don't belong here, go set it off over there.
That's right.
Why come where you don't belong and cause confusion?
Okay.
We was happy before you got here. You don't see no miserable people in weekend talking about we miserable because you ain't here. By the fact you see how we be smiling as soon as you leave. Because we got to go too much hell just to deal with somebody don't supposed to be up in here. When people leave, let them go. Quit holding on to people that don't belong where God put you.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I don't care what they do good. You do better.
Okay.
Linda ain't always had keyboard player, but she sung good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We went to a church that had all the best keyboard players. But they asked for Linda to sing.
Yeah.
Didn't have no keyboard player. But she had the anointing on her life.
That's what I'm talking about.
Our problem is we're looking for what sound good. But we're not looking for the one God chose to be in that place.
Hey, say it again.
That's right.
Now, I ain't got a lot to say, but when it comes to dancing, I take angel over anybody.
All right. All right. Come on. That's right. That's right.
Because she came here to serve and dance. She don't do it for recognition. If you don't clap for her, she'll be back dancing next week.
Yeah.
Some of y'all just do a little bit, nobody don't say nothing about you, you quit. You ain't got no minutes doing. You left, but you don't know why you're here. So you're trying to find your way in the dark and figure out, well, who's going to recognize me here? Nobody.
Nobody.
Not for nothing good anyway. They're going to recognize you for mess.
That's right.
Because you left for the wrong reason. Now you here and don't know why. That's why it's so important to know what season you're in. Before you make a move, know your season.
Yeah.
Now, when you're in a season of your life, make sure you know the season. Because Hagar was in a season of serving, Alvin. But she started tripping because she felt she was being mistreated while serving.
Yeah. Yeah.
The reason why she felt that way, she was no longer serving. She now, ego got her thinking because she now Mrs. Abraham. Yeah. She Mrs. Abraham concubine. Now she looking down on the woman that chose her to bring forth the baby. And sometimes people, their problem is they good as long as they got that mop in their hand. But you give them a mic in their hand, they ain't no good.
My God.
Because now they got a mic. And now they're finna beat the hell out of those.
Yeah.
That when they were serving,
Uh-huh.
they're getting them back now.
Yeah.
Know your season before you move.
Yeah.
Tell somebody, say, know your season before you move. Hagar was in the season of serving, so don't let what going on temporary cause you to make a permanent decision. Whatever happened in your serving time, don't let your serving time make a permanent decision on what God has in store for you.
That's right.
In other words, if it's to serve, serve. Point one, the place. You need to know what place you ought to be in.
That's right.
One thing I don't worry about Miss Lee, she know her place. Ain't gonna be here. Some of us still praying about it. Well, I need to see what the Lord said. If he ain't told you about it now, he ain't talking to you. Just tell the truth. You ready to go? Ain't nobody holding you back. Go on now. Like my daddy say, go on now. So until you know what God is saying, don't move. She made the decision to serve, and in the process of serving, she became pregnant. Oh, I've got something going on here. I said, I got something going on here. See, when you came in here, you decided for the first time you're going to open your ears to hear.
Okay.
Now you got a word, you done conceive and you're pregnant.
Okay. Okay.
But now you serving and pregnant and trying to leave.
Uh-oh.
Well, how you going to leave if you pregnant?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Because first of all, you pregnant by someone in the right place. So how you going to get pregnant by the person in the right place and you leave the place you got pregnant in trying to find another place?
Oh, Lord.
How can you take the baby that's supposed to be born for we care and you take the baby to somebody else's house?
That's good.
So point two, got to get it. Verse 3, Sarah, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, and after Abraham had dwelled 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abraham to be his wife, and he went into her, Hagar, and she conceived, and when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarah said to Abraham, I'm wrong, and I don't want to read that. So I wanted to show proof that. So for Hagar, it is not about what's going on around her, but what was in her was God's focus. In other words, he said, Hagar, here's the problem. You went there as a servant. Mm-hmm. You submitted to serving. Mm-hmm. Now you're pregnant. Uh-oh. But where you at?
That's the thing.
I did not let you get pregnant for you to be somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
Your baby is for that house you left. We done labor with your tail. We done got you blessed. And you stand up in somebody else's ministry giving up your money.
Oh my God, come on.
Because where you was, you didn't think they treated you right.
Come on, man.
Let me tell you why. You stopped serving.
That's it.
That's it.
You was in the place of serving, it didn't bother you.
Yeah.
But when your mindset changed and you thought because somebody recognized you, you became the big baller of that house. Uh-huh. Sarah was still the mistress of that house. Mm-hmm. Just because you've been here a long time, don't give you a right to step over somebody that God is using to do something else greater. Come on. Right. We got too many people in the church, been here so long, that you trying to tell somebody who you think is better or worse.
That's good. That's good.
Just like you got pregnant, they can be too.
That's right.
Well, she can't tell me nothing. Nobody can tell you nothing. Because you ain't serving no more.
That's right.
Because now you think you know more than everybody in that house. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So point one, place. Point two, gonna help you. And the angel of the Lord said to her, go to verse 9. Says, I want to help all of us today. The angel of the Lord said to her, hello, babe. Go home. Go back where you came from. Because where you at ain't where you supposed to be. Oh, we having church over here. No, you ain't there. You'll get tomorrow. You'll get tomorrow. Oh, the Lord, the word coming to me. So live, but it's time to tell you something, but you can't hear it. Because you're over-consumed with your own ego. And people know you got one, so they prophesied to it. You're going to be a great man of God right here. That ain't what God told you.
What God said.
You left for all the wrong reason.
That's right. Go home.
Go home first. Return, he said, to thy mistress. Go back to the one that's been mistreating you. Y'all don't hear me up in here. Go back to the one that's mistreating you.
That's right. That's good.
Well, you don't know what she done me. Yeah, but you don't know what's in you either.
No.
Your problem is, when you first submitted, you ain't had nothing in you. After you got hooked up with him, you got something in you. He's not sending her back to be mistreated. He's sending her back because she's mistreating herself.
There you go. There you go.
You mistreat yourself when you leave too early.
That's right. That's right.
I say you mistreat yourself when you leave too early. He said, your problem is you stop serving. Yeah. Now I want you to go back, not to Abraham. Don't go back to Abraham. Go back to your mistress.
Yeah.
She decided with Abraham to let you be in her position.
Yeah.
And return. Don't even read the next word because you don't want me to go there. Return and submit thyself under her. Under her hand. That means whatever she gonna do, shut up.
That's good. That's good.
Well, what good she gonna do me mistreating me? She ain't gonna mistreat you now. You know why? You're pregnant. You keep speaking of things before.
Yeah.
You got to get back to what's in you. What have you birthed? What God has put in you, and now you know there's something in me growing. But the time of life take 9 months.
Yeah.
So within the 9 months, I got to endure.
Yeah.
So the word he used is submit. We don't know what it means. We go where we want, when we want, long as we want, and want everybody expect to understand it.
Yeah.
We ain't submitted to nobody. You know why? Because you've never been committed to nothing.
There you go.
So you don't have to tell nobody nothing.
That's good.
I had a sister told me this morning, they might be out of date. She didn't have to tell me, but she submitted.
Yeah.
People ain't submitted. They don't care. They just show up the next week like they didn't miss church. Y'all get that tomorrow. So, point 2. Somebody say point 2. Posture of heart. Don't just go back and fake it. Go back and get your heart right, Hagar.
That's right.
It was your heart posture got you in trouble. Because when you was in the right place, you was picked to be the one to serve, to bring the baby. Now you think you better than your mistress. Well, Pastor used you today. You encourage better than Sister so-and-so. Get that witch out your ear.
Okay.
You get what I just said?
Okay.
Anybody that tell you that you do it better than somebody else, that's a witch.
Oh, yeah.
And a witch ain't a woman. It's a spirit.
That's right.
Well, you sing better than Jay. That's a witch. Trying to make you get from under serving. trying to get you from under submission.
Yeah.
It ain't deserving. It's what you're birthing.
Yeah.
She's birthing something, Alvin. And what she's birthing has to be properly nurtured.
Yeah.
If you get pregnant, you need people around you that can help you navigate that birth process. Because if not, you'll eat junk food. And you'll be unhealthy. And you might have an abortion.
Yeah.
You might abort your baby too fast. You might have an early birth because you got with the wrong people trying to tell you you're better than where you came from. So now we're talking about the place. We're talking about the posture or the position of your heart. Not where you're standing at. That's most people say, well, Pastor, I'm submitted to the ministry. In their mind, they ain't submitted to nobody. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about your posture. What is your heart posture when you talk to people? What is your heart saying when you talk to people? Well, there ain't no better than me. He's not thinking he's better than you. His job is to help navigate you and nourish you and to make sure you be healthy so when your time comes, you won't forfeit your blessing.
Yeah.
So he said, go back and get your posture in the right position. Submit yourself to your mistress. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing. The second thing, we got the what? Number one, the place. Make sure you're in the right place. Now, what did he ask her? Where did you come from?
Yeah.
Where you going? Mm-hmm. She only answered one question.
Yeah.
She can't answer the other question because she don't know where she going.
You don't know.
She asked one question. Where she came from. Mm-hmm. All of us know where we come from.
Yeah.
Problem is you just don't know where you're going. Most of us can't answer where we're going because we just left. Yeah. Well, I'm going to run out here and see what CWC got. I'm going to run and see what Agape got. These people over here are crazy. Well, bye. You don't need to be here if you're full of confusion.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I just can't listen to Jay. He ain't right. You ain't either. Because if Jay ain't right, I know you ain't right.
Okay.
Because ain't nobody perfect in here. So how Jay ain't right and you ain't right? You wrong for saying he ain't right and you better.
Okay.
Oh, I ain't got time to deal with that. Now the next one gonna shock you. The promise. Got the place? Got the posture and the position? Now we got the promise. Let me tell you what I want you to go back. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceeding that it shall not be numbered for multitude. The NIV said, the angel added, I will increase your descendants. In other words, get back where you belong.
Get back where you belong.
Your season is about to change.
Well now.
You was in a season of serving.
Yeah.
But now you get ready to be in the season of release.
Yeah.
You will never get your release if you leave the place at the wrong time. The promise is only as good as the posture or the position you take in the place you're serving.
Yeah.
If your posture is not right in the place, then you'll never get that promise. Right. Go back and submit yourself to your mistress. Yeah. Get your attitude right. Mm-hmm. I will not bless a bad attitude. I don't care what I got for you. You will not get it. Right. So get your butt back where you belong. Right. Get back, because there's something there for you. And he said, watch this. Watch this. He said, I increase your descendants so much that they will be too much. How many of y'all got more room to get more? How many of y'all got room for more? How many of y'all got room for more than enough? Yeah. How many of y'all got room? How many of y'all been waiting on God to do something? Yeah. Well, can I tell you, maybe it's standing between your posture, the place, and your bad attitude. You might need to just go back and submit yourself and get yourself back in the right place and the right posture so God can release his increase on your life.
That's right.
God will never bless the proud. He always bless the humble. The reason he told him to submit yourself is because your blessing is going to come as a result of you being under somebody, not you being all by yourself. Well, God, you're going to send me back to somebody that mistreated me. Baby, can I tell you something? They wasn't mistreating you. They wasn't mistreating you. They was having problem with the fact that what you was getting ready to bring forward, they couldn't. And the reason they couldn't because there wasn't her time yet. That's right. She came up with the idea. Now you went in cahoots with it. You didn't do nothing wrong. You made the right choices. But the only wrong in this for you, Hagar, you left too fast. Yeah. You can't blame Sarah for your leaving. You can't stand before God and say, I left because I don't like Pastor Gus. That's right. That's right. God know who I was before you came here. Sure. So what make you think you coming here and going to fix me? No, what make you think you ain't broke up? Okay. I'm going to fix it. No, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. I ain't broke. But somebody need to do something with you. Because you come off the streets. You wild. Let me show you what I mean about that. See, y'all don't believe me. So let the Bible speak for itself. Somebody say let the Bible speak for itself. So the promise, I will increase you with more than what you went through. I will increase you, Linda, with more than what you went through. It's been hard, Linda, but I got a promise for you, baby. You stayed in the right place. Come on. You kept the right posture. Now, the promise that I got for you, oh, y'all don't hear nothing I just said. Yeah. Now, watch this. She gave this name to the Lord, whom spoke to her, you are the God who see me. For she said, now, I want to read that one. I want to read the other one. Okay. You are now pregnant, and you will give birth to a son. You shall name his name Ishmael. The Lord has heard your misery. The Lord has heard what you've been going through. Come on. Well, let me ask you a question, brother. How can he hear what you're going through if you ain't where you're supposed to be? How can he answer you out of place? That's right. He said, if you get back where you belong, then I'm going to make sure you get what's yours. But I can't give you yours out of place. Somebody read verse 12 for me, because this is what I want to show you, because I know this is crazy, but you got to read it for yourself. And he will be a wild man. Oh, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. You mean to tell me you finna give me something going to be crazy? Yeah. His hand will be against every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Mm-hmm. Listen to me. Ishmael had more promises than Jacob 12 sons. All right. Then Isaac was going to bring forward. Every once in a while, if the right people do the right thing, if you do the right thing, then God will do the right thing for you. Even though it may look crazy. Now, he would say he would be a wild man because he already know he got that from his wild mama. Okay. Look at that. Now look at verse 18. And she gave the name to the Lord who spoke to her. Number one, when you stay in the right place, you get the right posture. Yeah. And you know the promise. Yeah. He'll hear you. Okay. He spoke to her, Linda. You know why God ain't speaking to you? You're in the wrong place. If he do speak, he's trying to tell you to get back where he put you. Go home. God ain't finna send you nowhere and you ain't done nothing where you were. But cause confusion. That's right. He called the name of the place, spoke to her. That means God heard her. And she said, the God see me. Now, he spoke to her. She heard him. Now watch this, Linda. She also saw him. But he saw her first. You see, all of it's working together for your good. Yeah. But it ain't going to work until you get back in your right place. Yeah. Because she said, now the God that see me, Oh, I'm finna let this go right now. Is the God that see me? It's the same God I see. Can I help all of us today? Stop tripping. Because you don't like what's going on in your life. What God was trying to tell Hagar, this is not about you, Hagar. This is about Ishmael. This is about Abraham. Do you know that some things in your life ain't had nothing to do with you? You serve, and God decided to use you in your serving to bring forth your generation. So don't curse your generation by not going submit yourself to your mistress.
All right.
Come on, you don't do what God said, you ain't gonna never see him. You ain't gonna never be able to have this testimony. The God that saw me, I saw him.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage you with those 3 thoughts today. Get in the right place. Stay in your place. Keep the right posture wherever God puts you. If you're in a season, know what season it is. If it's a season to serve, serve. When your time comes for God to bless you with his promises, don't be out of place.
That's right.
Because if you get out of place, all you're going to have to do, you're going to find out you're going to have to eventually go back to the place where God has spoke. Everything going to happen to you in that place. And I'm going to encourage all of you all. Make sure you're in the right place. Make sure you're serving in the place you're at. Don't just come to church. Find out what you're good at and start committing yourself to those things. So when others come in, guess what happened? You see, you'll never have no fruit without any root.
Okay. That's good. Okay, that's good.
So the purpose of all of it is to go reconnect to your roots. So now you can bring forth the fruit of your womb. Whatever God has been doing in your life, let him finish it where he started it at.